Welcome back, Redverts. First off, I'm sick. Oh, I have fluorescent green snot and I can't hear a thing. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to apologize now. There's going to be some sneezing and some coughing, like there isn't normally. I'm a little more nasal than normal. So let's go over here to the desk cam real quick. We're going to continue working on the Fokoos. Got some few updates, and we're going to try and fix it this time. Part 2. First off, while y'all stare at my hands, confirm, yes, did go live. Ah, except the chat isn't working. Give me 1 second. Don't know why I should have to sign in. I'm already signed in. I'll just leave this floating over here top so we can see. Okay, so updates from last time. Please ignore my snot rag. Last time where we left off, we determined we had a bad MOSFET. So my brilliant idea was we were either going to try to bypass that MOSFET and go to an external one like we used to use on the early days of 3D printing, or I decided I'll just buy some MOSFETs. Yeah, I can't see my screen now. So, got on eBay, bought, 5 there, for about 10 bucks, and didn't go as planned. Basically, even with my Weller top temp, plenty of flux, I could not get this MOSFET to desolder from the board. I guess it's straight to the ground plane, and it was just dissipating the heat way too much. I just could not get it loose. So I said, well, we're going to go another route, because I want to get this printer up. Oh, sit down here, knock everything. And I'm tired of spending time on it. So, waste of money. Unless you have a reflow station, I wouldn't try it. So, got on AliExpress, and I got us a new MKS Robin Nano 1.2 board. It was about $26. Got here in 2 weeks. Came with the cable. Also went ahead and got the Wi-Fi module. See if we can install that. Hopefully it is already pre-programmed. We will find out. Packaging was decent. Came in static bag, plenty of bubble wrap. This was in another bubble wrapped bag that was wrapped with 40 layers of tape. Let's get this guy out of the way. So we're just going to do a full swap with this guy, and maybe we can use this for something else down the road, and go from there. I could have, another option was I could have used the second hot end output on this control board and reprogram the firmware, but I didn't want to spend the time. I hate to say it. As much as I used to love Marlin, after moving to Clipper, I just don't want to spend the time, which we're going to on this one, because this comes with, you know, no firmware. So the first thing is, took the bottom off, not a big deal. I'm sure if you want to check that out, you can check it in the last video. 4 screws with the little rubber feet that come off, 2 in the center, and then there were just 4 screws, popped the board out. First most difficult thing was getting this ribbon cable off. This connector, no matter what, did not want to pop up or slide out or move at all. There is hot glue all over this thing, so I don't know if they glued this connector into place, but I just had to slowly slide this cable out, and it looks like the contacts are still good. We will find out. First off, it's a little different. The original board has a spot for 4 drivers. This one has all 5. It looks like they just didn't solder them on the factory board. All these end stop and sensors look the same. Module's the same, connector's the same, all this is the same. These connector blocks are a little nicer. But besides that, pretty much everything is the same. Oh, here is a difference. Okay, there is a difference. Our Z's are doubled up on this one. They are both tied together. Did not notice that. This is already set up for X, Y, Z, extruder 0 and extruder 1. So what that tells me is, since we don't have a double connector on this board, I have two options. One was I could get another driver, install it first Z, second Z, but then I'm going to have to do some changes in the firmware. The other option is I believe I still have some motor splitter cables. That's probably what we're going to go with. If not, that's going to have to be a second part of the video. But I do believe I have a couple. So first off, let's go ahead and start pulling this apart. It is going to be a mess. Like I said, it is covered in hot glue. Just covered. And my sinuses are killing me. I'm going to have as much coffee as we can handle. Hopefully we don't poop ourselves midstream, or if so, hey, entertainment. I like my coffee like I like my women. Better. So let's start off with disconnecting the obvious stuff. First off, we are going to run off real quick. All right, grab my phone, not give out my code, and we will take a picture of this. Just so we do not forget where anything goes, because we will, especially when we don't feel good. Take a picture here. Oh, thank you, handy pop-up. Stuff at the top's pretty self-explanatory, except for the two wires right there. There we go. Now we have a backup. The other thing is if we can try not to knock our laptop off the stand, which is here to my left. So first off, we're going to, let's see, any better? Let's see. There's my laptop. VS Code sitting open. Let's go and pop these loose. So we get this a little further up the table so I'm not reaching off to the side. Oh yeah, it's more comfortable. A little better view for you guys as well. Alright, those came right out. Let's see if we can get some blood. We must have blood, lots of blood. This amount of super glue is just unnecessary. Or, lordy. Ugh. That's a bit of glue. Right. I'm fully expecting at some point in this process of us trying to move these more delicate wires out that we're gonna break something. Murphy was an optimist. He was positive something would go wrong. Just didn't know what or when, but he was sure something would happen. And he's usually right. That's why we try to expect the problems, like cutting our finger straight open. Lordy. Gosh darn. Interesting. What does that say on it? Z1. So those are our hot end cables. And Z2. I wonder why they're labeled Z. It's kind of confusing. The other part that's confusing is it is literally 3 wires clamped down into one. Never seen that with a hot end. Yeah, lordy. Okay. Progress. So we get EC out. There we go. That one not too bad. Getting them back in is going to be a struggle. Got it right out. Oh boy. Superfluous. Let's get the needle nose. Man. I can tell you, the one thing China does not scrimp on, and that is hot glue. Alright, that connector is still good. Let's see if we can get this one big goop off all together. Huge glop right here. Nope, so let's try cutting it. Nope. Cut ourselves or the wires. Ah! Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. See, just 5 minutes ago, I knew exactly where these wires went, and now I have absolutely no clue. Hey, that wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna get this guy down here out of here. Get this guy down here. And then leave this guy. What is he labeled? F1. Assuming that's fan 1. Cooling fan. Another reason I'm assuming that is because there's a MOSFET attached to that circuit trace. Slow and steady wins the race. Well, finding this crap in my toes for weeks. Literally, the whole connector's trying to pull off the control board. There we go. There we go. All right, there we go. Ugh. All right. Here's where the real fun begins. Let's get down to these motor connectors. Yeah. I'm scared, Mommy. This is just unnecessary. Okay. This should be extruder. There we go. Wow, it was down inside the connector. That's not what you want to see. Looks like Z, did they get all the way around? Yeah, they got all the way around. Ah, and we just cut through one of our motor wires. Ah. Well, we got connectors. It's exactly what we did not want to do. Hope somebody saw that. Oh, one of our heat sinks is falling right off too. Just trying to push this hot glue off of the connector. I'd say most likely it'd be better to do this with a really nice X-Acto knife and just using a box knife like I am. Ah! Oof, that's gonna bleed. That's a little sharp guy right there. So we've already broken something, and we have blood. Oh yeah, we gotta get a band-aid. Alright, be right back. Now. And surprise, we have no band-aids. So, where is my tape? We're going to do some electrician's band-aid, and all my E-tape is missing. Is it over here? There it is. Good old electrician's band-aid. That is an excessive amount of blood. All right. There we go. Oh, no, I can't use that hand. Oh well. No alone time with the internet for me. Now, we've already caused 2 injuries. Knocked our camera out of the way. Let's see if we can do this without breaking something else. Alright. Probably what I'm gonna do, so it's just the one. If I get lucky, not the best solution. I know the proper solution would be to cut all 4 cables and recrimp the ends, stick them back in, but my gosh, yeah, that's a lot of work for just one. So I think what we're probably going to do is strip the ends, put some heat shrink on it, solder the wire together, and throw the heat shrink on it. Not much. If this was on the other end of the motor where there's a bit of movement, I'd be a little more concerned, but this is going to be sitting still in here, so we can get this one. That one's a little easier. There we go. Taking the glue with it. That is a bit of a disappointment. This is not just a drop-in replacement. I did not even check Fokoos' website to see if I could buy the board from them. So, my bad. But you expect a board labeled exactly the same thing to have the same connectors. Now, I wonder what is also shorter. Yeah, if you notice here, yeah, the old one's just a little bit bigger to give space for the second Z connector. I was hoping we'd have some empty holes so we could just swap it right over, but no, that is not happening. It looks like the pinout is the same. That's a plus. I would hope so. But here we are. Okay, not too bad. Break anything? Nope. Y'all know the rules. Everything will go fine until the very last connection, and then that's when things will go horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. I wish I could give you a better view of this, but I am just prying all this glue off. Go. Chunk of it off. Let's see if we can just yank the whole kit caboodle. Oops, try and take the whole connector with it. Ow! What the Oh, wow. We're bleeding like crazy. I'll stop soon. We don't want to see nobody get hurt, but we don't want to miss it if they do. That shit's hilarious. Let's try this again, see what happens. Nope, taking the whole connector. which I'm not opposed. Prefer not to destroy this board, but it's not mission critical. Go. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. All right. So super glue off. Well, he's bleeding like crazy. Might have to double up on the tape. I think we will now. So let's do this. Gonna make us an advanced electrician's Band-Aid. Ah, I took the skin with it. Just kidding. Just a bunch of the hair. Oh yeah, we got that. We got it. Good. I gouged myself nice and deep. Not pretty. That'll work for now. Yeah. You only allotted one piece. Just one piece. That's all you get. Okay. Down to the last connector. Second to last. I was expecting this process to be a little painful, but not this bloody. That's a good big nice chunk. Set my tape. Let's make my tool stick to my hand. It's filled up nice and deep between the two connectors. Let's try and take the whole thing. You might be asking yourself, well, if it's taking the whole thing and you don't care about the board, why not just let it take the whole connector, both sides, male and female, go, and then remove it from two pieces once you got it out, because it is not much easier than it just came off with it. Dang. Not much easier. Now all we're going to do is tear up this connector trying to get it off. Or break another cable. Oh, let's hold that off on that one a second. Let's get this guy out. This one's going to go easy. Alright, so there's the old board. Still need to get the drivers out. Let's see if we can separate that connector. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Is it you? You? It's not you. Not you. It's you. You can't see anything. I'm just trying to rip off more hot glue. Just really think this is superfluous. It's not going to pop out, well, in transit. And if they did, that box was dropped hard enough that I don't think it really matters. You're going to have other problems. There we go. It's off. Let's get this connector back in place. Go. Look at all that. All hot glue. Just silly. All right, let's go ahead and try and get the drivers out. I'm gonna go top down for this. Apologies. All right. I'm gonna try and just pull straight up on them. And oh lordy, are you kidding me? You are not kidding. You're not kidding. Did they really? Yes, they did. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, this stream is just full of surprises. So, wow, they do it on the top or the bottom? Well, I gotta switch to the other camera. This definitely is a curveball. So, wow, I really can't believe this. This was really bad design. This is not going to be simple. You cannot do a full board swap without also getting replacement drivers. That's really hard to see. Let me give you an example. Here's your standard. See how tall this black is? It's just headers. It looks like they took headers, soldered them into the control board, set the raw driver boards on top with no pins, and then soldered the headers onto it. I mean, yeah, because they are nice and clean down here. They are extremely nice and clean on the solders. All of these. But up here, wow. Even if we desolder these and get them off, man, that's reattaching new pins to every one of them. I mean, I have them, but that is a ton of work. Why would you do that? Yeah, you can. Look how crooked. Can you see how crooked this side is compared to this side? Okay, that's a little better. That's... I just don't understand why you would reinvent the wheel like that. On top of that, these capacitors are underneath each one of these. And it looks like they are sitting right on top of a couple. Double check. No, that is in. Okay, so even if we got this all the way in and hooked up, we still don't have, we now have to buy motor drivers. Wow. I guess we're starting to see why this printer really did not last. Gosh darn. Well, it's going to be a short stream. I was fully expecting us to get the board installed, swap out the drivers, install the Wi-Fi module, and at least power it on and start kicking the firmware install. But no, that's not going to happen. And you might be asking, which you're probably not, why did you get another 1.2, which is the original board that's in here? Yep, MKS Robin Nano 1.2. It mainly came down to this ribbon cable. I'm sure I could have gotten a different screen. They were cheap enough on AliExpress. But yeah. So what it looks like now, especially since I got to buy the driver separately and already waited 2 weeks. Now we're gonna have to Amazon them. I could have got the whole package for about $35 maybe. It was only about $25 for the board, $26 after tax. Yeah, could have got the board with the drivers and a different screen. That probably would have fit in there. So, wow. This is going to be a three-parter. So I guess what we're going to do is go ahead and install this board, secure it with the screws, get the cables installed, get the Wi-Fi module installed, and then there will be a part 3 as we order drivers. That really sucks. And double check to make sure we have a Z splitter cable. Seriously, guys. All right, let's just see if this is going to fit in place. First off, might not be doing any of this. Looks like it's going to fit. Let's see with the Wi-Fi module. Lordy. Should have known. Should have known. Alright, here's the Wi-Fi module. It looks just to be an ESP8266. Can't really tell. Get that out of the way. Throw it under the microscope because I cannot read it. What we got here? 8266 S6. Not familiar with that one. There we go. ESP12S. See, there's not much to this guy. Just the raw chip and an antenna. I would hope this is set up to go, since I got the official Maker Base one. Let's go ahead and try and put this in here. I don't know if I can give you all a better shot of this. I guess that's a little better. We're going to, there is a little diagram here. Looks like the antenna, so I am going to assume that is the direction it goes. There's also pins there marked 5-volt ground, receive and transmit. So that is a serial connection. And so I guess if you weren't actually using this, you could use the serial connection. Does it fit? Hey, the colors even line up. They made this part easy. Popped right in there. Right, well, why couldn't you do that with the original drivers? Man. That's still line up. It appears to. Does it clear? Yes, it clears. Hard to tell. Just barely clears. So at least that part goes right. Let's get the screws. And what are these? These are teeny, that's what they are. Definitely going to be a short stream. Severely disappointed. There we go. All right. Seems to line up nice. Not like the Ender 3s where you kind of have to get the end of the board into the port cutouts. But we're not there yet. It's going to be full of surprises. Kind of like it's feeling like right there. Loosen this guy up a bit. There we go. Oh, don't cross thread. There we go. Very tight tolerances on that. We should have one right here. Don't feel like you're tightening. I'll lay you on your back. Oh, don't do that. It's a little easier to see for you and for me. Oh no, we are caught up. That's what's going on. Nope, we were wrong. This is very much like the Ender 3s. Where'd you go? We'll find you in a second. Where are you? All the screws. Let's just take all the screws out. Whatever you do, don't do things the way I do them. That's why we do videos here, just so you can see how dumb I am. Where'd y'all go? There's 2 screws. There we go. Both of them. That's not the way that's supposed to work. You're supposed to get caught up in the fan. All right. Looks like we do have to angle in. Yep. TF card slot. Let's see. Yes, just barely angle in. There it goes. There it goes. Let's play a game. How many times can we drop these screws? Get this one in. It should be nice and secured. It's much easier to work on this side. Yeah. There are a couple of things to see we could have done beforehand. Might would have made this easier, but yeah. YOLO. Highly disappointed, Fokoos. I understand cost cutting and trying to secure parts, but that's kind of disappointing. Very disappointing. You should at least make it so, well, I guess this would explain why they're not making 3D printers really anymore. Unfortunately, with this printer, a little bit of a history. My ex-employer and current employer, because I am back at this job, was about to get their second 3D printer. The first one was one of the toy boxes. which worked well to get them started. A little overpriced, but it worked out good for him and his kids. And then they were actually looking for their next printer, and I recommended this actual printer based off of the recommendations from Loyal Moses. Don't hold anything against him. It seemed the first one he got had an issue with the hot end, I believe, and they replaced it and gave him this one, and then this one developed a problem with the heat bed. So why would I replace it with what I thought was the exact same motherboard or controller board? Who knows? Should have taken the opportunity, just gone with a whole new board, whole new screen, avoided all this. But here we are. So let's start with this ribbon cable. On this board, the connector is different. You know for a fact this one just pops right out. Look how easy that is. This is also one of those things about buying things on AliExpress. You really can't tell. You just gotta take a chance. There we go. Looks relatively straight. That is in there. Not being pinched. We are secured. I guess we're going to start reassembling wires and throw the bottom on. No, yes, throw the bottom. We can throw the bottom on, but that is as far as we can go. So let's start with something we know where it goes. Confirm the inputs and outputs again. Plus is on the inside. How was it on this one? Plus is on the inside, so they touch. And what is our main power? What are those for? That is our heat bed. Wow. Okay. Back this camera up a bit. Let's double confirm this. Yeah. Here are the wires going to our control board, and here are the wires going to the heat bed. There's huge difference. I don't know if maybe it's just the insulation, but that is a huge difference in size. I would have assumed that these were my main power wires coming in. Apparently not. I'm going to try, if we can, clean this up a bit. These are all pulled through everything. That one, yep, that is our main coming in. We will put it, so first we'll back off our screws. These definitely feel nicer than the ones on the Fokoos board. Dang it. I gotta raise you more. Alright. There we go. Both of those appear to be in position. Hold them with one hand. Let's get them started. Really not looking for part 3. Go. Just gotta get those a little over hand tight for now. Let's get our heat bed wires in. Nope, not backed out enough. There's positive to positive on this guy. Okay. Oh, I need my hanky. Runny nose. Alright. So this thermistor, which is coming along with the heat bed, we're going to assume is going to the heat bed. And I don't know where it goes. Let's go with the stuff we know, and then we'll eliminate backwards. Here is hot end. So all this is hot end bundle. What are you? Why? You must be an end stop. And let me pull up the pinout. Actually, I'll do it over here since we're not going to need this anymore. Oh, lordy, lordy. Yes, I understand. A lot of ads on this page. There we go. End stop, power off detection, filament detection, auto off. Heat bed thermal. Ooh. So this should be the heat bed thermistor. There. Sorry. Right up there. Next, and then these two here, there's a black and a purple. There you go, black and purple. Those should be our hot end thermistors. Oh. F1 has to be it. Or is it that one? It has to be this one, just by the length. This has to be the fan. Yes, it does. I'm going to put this in the black socket for extruder 0. Make sure that's right. Yep, extruder 1. Although over there it's extruder 0. I'm going to assume this guy, F1, is for the cooling parts fan, since it's short. Let's get our hot ends together. Z1, Z2 doesn't really tell me what to go to. And it's hot end, so it shouldn't matter. Let's actually loop this guy around. I appreciate they gave this nice little bundle hole. Actually, let's just cut that. We get zip ties. And it's not sticking anyways. Yeah, give me that, but it didn't stick. Oh, pointless. Let's stick you back in there. And get some good old coffee. All right. So we can get hot end to stick. Well, a little more. These wires really are not labeled any which way, which determines positive or negative, but they're hot end, so it should not matter. and get them into the hole. There we go. There's the first one. We're going to unsecure it. First one is loosely secured. I'm going to bend over very uncomfortably. Yeah. All right, we're going low. There we go. Very tight. I do appreciate they put collets on all these, but this is very tight. Go. Where does that leave us? That leaves us with a whole mess of wires. This guy. Let's figure out what this guy's going. This is our Y end stop. So we now know what, and it says Y on it. Quite obvious. F2. Does this thing have two fans? It does. Extruder fan and part cooling fan. Let's refer to our pictures. Come on, phone. It's not that hard. Okay. All right. Yay for pictures. Would have been better if I'd made the labels clear. EC, that is EC. We got that one in the right spot. E negative. We should have an E negative over here in this first slot. That looks like. Okay. E0 or EC? That's okay, so that's EC. E minus. I need an E minus. X1. E minus. And they're long, so that gives us some kind of clue. It is in the second one. That direction. Next one up is going to be this wire. What does this go to? Ah, okay. This is our optical sensor in stop for the Z, which I do like how they have that for this. I will say, I mean, I've never used them before, and I haven't used them on this printer, but I do like seeing that optical in stop. It was a nice addition. The flat cabling was really nice. I can't say personally how well this printer works yet because I've never used it, and wow, that is very, very close. Motor wires are very close to rubbing on the Z wheels, which are not adjusted correctly. Yep. Tight there, loose there. All right, let's get back to these wires. This guy is going to go the 1 second green one. Shows it's going here. Confirm over here what that is. It calls that power off detection. And filament detection, I think that is just generic. We're just going to match how the originals were, because that's how the firmware should have the pins going. Be our luck if we get to redo a bunch of that. So it was green, blue, and then the red one, which is not red on the original, it's orange on the original. Okay. And that is X1. So Y, there's an F2. So motor, 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 motor. Okay, these have to all be in stop. So here's the Y. Yep, that's Y in stop. I'm going to put that right there. That's right. There's X1 right there. So there's X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z. Physical, physical, optical. This is our extruder fan. One of them. I'm assuming... Oh no, that is X, Y, Z. Okay, it's magnetic sensor on the X, optical on the Y. X, Y. Double check this. Comes into this bundle, which goes into this adapter. Flat cable runs up. Excuse me. That looks correct. This just leaves us fan 2. Where does fan 2 go? Fan 2? Oh, we are missing 2 wires. Where'd you go? Ah, this one. This little red one, which is powering this fan, and the fan on the back is going to go into this one. I'm assuming that is a constant power. And this guy, which is F2, is going to go here. This guy gets to go back up in here. All right, so this leaves us down to just the motor wires, and the one we're going to have to fix. Let's go ahead and kick the soldering iron on for that. Make sure we got the right tip on there. We do not. Turn the soldering iron back off. Little warm. Woo, that part's a little warm. Woo, woo, That's not the tip we want to either. This won't work. Need to get a new set of tips. And that's what we will be buying here in a few minutes, along with some stepper drivers. Wow, it's still hot. No, don't melt my desk. Don't melt my desk. There we go. Go get some water for this real quick. There we go. A little bit of high quality H2O, aka Dallas tap water. Ooh, can smell it. All right, so these are labeled X, Y, and Z. This is the Y. It's gonna go in. Yes, it went in. That's the other problem with this. Hot glue is half the time you get them out, but you can't get them back in. Okay. Here's an extruder. Just barely long enough. And then here's our broken 2 Z's. Well, 1 broken Z. Let me see if we have an adapter cable before we fix that. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I know I have some of these, just not sure where I put them. I know we're going to need them. I would have grabbed them before the stream. But, also, I gotta pee. I'll be right back. All right. My apologies. All right, soldering iron is almost up to temp. I'm gonna clean up some of this crap. Oh yeah, we were looking for a cable. Insert Jeopardy music here. Let's see. In here. Nope, those are different types of end stops. So unfortunately, this is what happens when you get into 3D printing. You get all this crap. And luckily, I found them. Yes, I did. Oh, but where is the second part of these? Oh, man. Is that them? No. Right. This will work. All right. I don't believe this is the totally correct cable, but let's see, will it fit? Oh, it's not the right cable, but this is what we needed. This is a motor splitter. If you unfortunately swap out a board to another that does not have 2 ports for 1 driver, this is what you need to get. They're relatively cheap on Amazon. And I've saved my butt a few times. One of the things you will really need to look out for on these is confirm with the multimeter that these pinouts are the same. And notice they flip direction. So this one has the notches on this side, and these two have the notches on this side. So we want to confirm that these pins actually line up, because I've been burned by that before. The other thing we will need to make sure of is that we wipe our nose, because we have a runny nose. Luckily, y'all don't have to see that. Ah, sorry about that. There's a chicken in here. Let's come back down. And all we're going to do, confirm our continuity with this pin, and this pin. Okay, and that should be with that one. Yep. Okay, so the wiring through is correct. The next issue will be to make sure that the jumper wire we use, the motor wire, as soon as I can find it, because I know I do have some short ones, you can just take some a spare motor wire, but I know I have some short ones. I thought that was it, but that's not it. Nope. Well, obviously that's a 3-pin. These are a 4-pin. That their wiring is correct. I've seen this several times where you get, not with this guy, but motor wires, especially if you say you get a replacement motor or replacement cables, and these are going, appear to be 1-to-1 down the line. I'm assuming they're the same on this side. Yes, they are. No, let's double check. These are 1-to-1. Okay. Sometimes the inner 2 wires or outer 2 wires will be crissy-crossed, or even completely wrong. That's something you always need to confirm, that your pinout on your control board from your stepper drivers, if you're going through one of these adapters or anything, and to your motor are the same. If we look on this end, we can actually see on the end of the motor, they're swapped. Let me come over here, side cam. It's going to be very hard to see. But the inner 2 wires are swapped around on the motor side. Let's pull one of these to confirm. Yes. So on the control board side, even though it's very hard to see, there we go. Those are 1-to-1. And is this Y? No, this is X. Shouldn't matter though. But if we notice over here, inner 2 wires crissy-cross over. So we need to be aware of that when we are hooking up one of these adapters or replacement motor cables. So let me find the motor cables. That's not it. Motor cables, not the ones I'm looking for. More motor cables, jumper cables. There we go. This is what we were looking for. Back of cables. There we go. These little adapters came with these little guys. Now we need to confirm it is wired straight through. The other issue I've had with things like this as well is they were wired backwards. They weren't 1-to-1. They were right on one side, but when they got to the other, they were 180. And yeah, that was a problem. So what we're going to do is plug this guy. So we're pull Z out. There's Z out. This guy into the Z. This guy into the root of it. Okay. And this guy into, is this the cut one? Nope, this is the good one, into one side. We'll also have to find a way to secure that. Probably going to use just some double side. Oh. There we go. One side into it, other side into the board. And we're going to have to use some double-sided tape, most likely, to secure that in there. or print some kind of bracket. That just seems like a lot of work. Quite honestly, it'd probably be fine if we just wrapped it in e-tape, left it floating around, but don't like it. So, let's confirm. Whoop, see, we're already screwing up. This is our X, goes down there. This is one of our Z's. And we're going to just like do this. Oh, camera's coming all loose. Go. Ooh. So looking at this, we're just going to go by this red wire, which is closest to this notch. We're just going to put our probe on one end of that guy. And confirm that it is the same out here. It is, and on this one, yep. I'm going to go to the second one. Yep, that is correct. Third. I know this is superfluous, but I got burned once very hard with this. So those are straight wiring through. That's a good sign. Those did come up different. Sorry for that ugly elbow. What we would have to do is pop the pins out here and swap a couple of cables around and plug them back in. So let's throw this in the Z. Really disappointed at how much work this is going to be. There's our first Z motor. Let's see if we can get this out of here, make it a little easy to work on. There we go. Let's get our helping hands. I'm helping you. Need some heat shrink. Already have a cut piece. Looks like we do. Go ahead and slide this guy back in here. Get it nice and far so that shrink wrap doesn't get all crazy. And let's see if we can just melt this insulation a bit with the soldering iron. Sometimes you get lucky and it's just enough to melt it back. I don't want to break it. Nope. All right. Well, that smells delicious. Just pull this guy back out of there. Very delicately with our super dull strippers there. That is enough. Disclaimer, I don't recommend you do this way. If this does not work, we will have to, ow, ow, ow. That's definitely enough of it. Ow. Crimp a new end on here and then pop this guy out and then just stick him back in there. That would be the proper solution. And you're probably wondering, why don't we just do that? Since, you know, the wire's stripped, it's easy. I bought the cheap crimpers. I'll tell you right now, if there's anything you're going to spend money on in this hobby, decent crimpers. Decent crimpers. It was a big mistake. I know it's very difficult when you first get into this. Also, with some of the listings on Amazon, you're like, what is that? Are they DuPont? Are they JST? They're so close, and they all can interact together. But it is just, yeah, the cheap ones were a bad decision. But this should be fine. Should be fine. It'll be fine. Get you out of here. Let's get all these off to the side. Where's my brush? Take our rosin. Just hit the end of these two wires. This is where the insulation is going to shrink right perfect for us. Okay. I guess we need some solder. There we go. Just going to touch a bit to this end. Get it tinned. Can't see anything. Same thing with this end. Here's going to be the real fun. I'm holding it with my mouse. Don't ever do this. Whew. Okay, let's try this. Definitely want to do this fast because there's a lot of heat that can travel down these wires right down into the connector. Ow, hot. Wow. There we go. Give me that overlap. I just need a little overlap. My finger is so close to that. Ah, woo. Hot potato. Just gonna fight me, fight me, fight me, fight me, fight me. And don't squish hot glue into it. Let's get a little more solder again. One of those situations I'd rather droop all over my desk than fight with this. Horrible, horrible solution. Ugh, so close. Oh, it's hot, 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 hot. Ooh, don't judge me. Don't judge me. We've all done something like this before. It's not pretty, but it'll work. Unless we break all of them in the process. Yep, that is solid. Let's get our shrink wrap over it. Don't fight me, shrink wrap. Caught right on the edge, right on the edge. Alright, there we go. I swore I had a lighter in here just for this. If not, I know where one's at. Definitely not the prettiest. Yeah, I can't get it over there. Definitely not the prettiest. But it'll work. That wire is so crooked. Yep, we are insulated. So that will go into second side of this splitter. We'll have to get some double-sided tape, stick it right there. And yeah, I believe that is as far as we can go. That is everything physically wired except for the stepper motors. And it is going to be a very bad idea to turn this on without the stepper motor drivers. So, yes. So I guess we're just going to call it right there. That's really as far as I can go without ordering the stepper drivers. Such a disappointment. Such a disappointment. That is just, it's pointless. It's just really pointless. And they're all crooked. They're all crooked and they're all sitting right on top of the caps. Quite surprised. So, yeah. So there will obviously be a part 3. I will go put an order for those drivers right now. Hopefully we can get them in a couple of days. We'll install them and then we'll get back to confirming the or compiling the firmware and throw it on there, because unfortunately there's not a pre-compiled firmware, but there is a Github. So we'll compile it, throw it in there, and take it from there. Catch y'all next time. Fail.